Hey guys, today we're going to tear apart this MP231J transfer case, which come out of a sweet 97 Jeep Cherokee XJ, the holy grail of off-road rigs. So we're going to tear this all apart and do a 6-gear planetary upgrade, which is what's in the 241C transfer cases, 94 and up, so you get the correct gear mesh. And I've got a no-vac input adapter, 32 spline. That way it'll slide right into the 4L80 on the Sport Trac build. And then we've got a JB Conversions super short slip yoke eliminator kit with the flanged rear. So let's get started here. So what we're doing here is we're getting that snap ring so we can take this all off. Now you have to remember these are coded, these are indexed to where you can actually, if you put this in wrong, it will not read speed or it'll bind it up. So you just pay attention to where this is always at, but that's if you're keeping this factory tail housing. And then also if you're doing a different style slip yoke than what I'm doing. So that's your gear. Actually 2 of these, I forgot about the other one on in there. But I'm not keeping this, so if you are keeping it, then you might want to tear it apart a little bit more careful. Here's your oil pump. Make sure that that O-ring stays with it. Now we can go ahead and separate the case. Another thing to note is there's longer bolts on the corners, on each corners where the dowel pins are at. So just make sure you put those off to the side. And then this transfer case has never been apart. So it's got that goofy 10 millimeter 10 point or 12 point right here. I normally just put a regular bolt back in here just so it's easy for tear down on the next time. Should have put some P. Diddy lube on that. And there you have your case path. This one, the dowel pins come with it. This magnet just slides in. It slides in this one, and then your filter will slide into here. Just pay attention to that. So be careful of the spring that goes right there. And sometimes you can get this chain off, depending how wore it is. This one's not going to work, so I'll have to take the front yoke off. There's the front yoke. All right, so then we'll just pull this whole assembly out here. Let that fall out, put that back in. And then here's your main output shaft right there that we're getting rid of. So here's your four-wheel drive fork and collar. And here's the four-wheel drive low shift fork. Flip it back over to this side. Take this seal retainer off, and then there's a clip back there. Now there is a notch right here on this one. Things pop right off. Now pay attention, because there is a oil galley right there, which goes up here on this top spot. Now see, they put a little extra silicone there and it almost blocked it off. You want to make sure when you put silicone back on to not do too much. I'll show you here in a little bit. This is the input keeper, and there is the planetary. This is the factory planetary, so it's got just 3 gears. We're going to swap out the input now. Actually, we're not using this at all, so we're going to use the 6th gear, and I'll put the input into the 6th gear. This is the Novak piece. There's a little passageway here where you can get that retaining clip out of there. And you'll pop that out. Now there is a thrust washer in there. You have to make sure that you leave that in there. This one's actually got 2. And there you have it. 6 gear planetary with the Novak 32 spline input. So now this is all going to go right back together. There you go. And there we go. That's in there. All right. Now we're going to flip this over, clean off this mating flange, and go ahead and put this back together. All right, so a little bit goes a long way. All right, so mainly make sure you don't get a lot right here, because when it squishes, it'll go over into that oil galley. But a little bit goes a long way, so this will seal it up, no problem. And also, make sure you paid attention to where the oil bleed hole is. I don't know the torque spec, but I do know Ooga Doogas. Now we'll start back on this way, on this side. So right here we have the JB Fab super short output. Obviously, you can see the difference here. Tremendous. So when you put this in, you want to make sure you get into that hole right here. And that's where that one will land. So now we're going to take all the stuff off this input shaft, put it on this one, output shaft. There we go. It'd be nice to have a bigger pair of these, but I don't have. Oh, well, sorry. We have another guy in here working at the same time as me. All right, so we got the snap ring off. I had to finagle it out of there, but so here is the gear assembly. These are separate. I'm going to keep them one assembly here. All right. There we go. All right. Now we can go ahead and put it all back in. There you have it. Now it's just the reverse order of everything going back together. Don't forget the spring. Here's the new reluctor ring. So this is actually going in there like that. So the recessed side to the tail housing, and that's how they're going to get the reading. So we can put all this, put the other cover back on now. Clean the old magnet. Go ahead and get all this old silicone off. So usually refrain from using the roll-lock disc on this, but some of this stuff just does not want to come off very easy. So, but the factory will cast like crosshatch in these to grab that sealant. So I'm gonna hose it out with brake clean now. Now we can't forget about the oil pump pickup tube. Okay. So now you just, I like to hold it right there. Get that pinhole lined up there. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna go find a new bolt for that. Okay, now we're gonna fish this oil pump back on there. Just go to your home. There we go. Flop me a little bit there. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do the gear. Go to silicone in here. Get this put on there. Here's the sensor that comes with the JB conversions kit. They've got a hex head bolt right here. And you can verify that the reluctor ring is in the correct spot. You can see it in there in the center. So I better put some lube on this. We always put a little lube on the O-rings just to help them going in. All right, now after every build, transfer case build we do, we always go through the selector. So that's two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive high, neutral, and four-wheel drive low. And there you have it. It's a heavy little fucker. I mean, thing. Ah, there's a fucking heat shield. Oh, the heat shield's in the way. All right, back it down it goes. Oh, I found that cross now.